are talking about how to take care of your skin, what works with what, how people, you know, how we see our, especially like with our local brands, and we wonder how did they start formulating and then coming up, and we think it's complicated, and maybe it's not, maybe it is. I don't know. We're about to find out, because my guest this morning is a guru when it comes to skincare. Her name is Tanatswa Masongomai. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You had me at Guru. I'm like,
you're glowing.
Thank you.
You're glowing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Love it.
The glow.
It means it's something
it's working. Yeah.
Right.
It's
so we can trust you.
Thank you.
Have you always been an enthusiast of, you know, skincare, beauty, and all that?
Yes, I'm a self-proclaimed product junkie. So yes, I've always loved skincare, but I stumbled into this by accident, and then it became a passion.
Right, right. So did you go through that phase where you'd find something is trending on social media, like, oh, I've got to try it, and then you try it, and it's like, okay, it doesn't work for me.
I think I'm still in that phase.
Really?
Yes, I think but though I do, you know how it is, like skincare is more or less of, I always say it's like dating. It's sifting and sorting until you find like your perfect match. Exactly. And sometimes, you know, you fall out of love with something because it's no longer responding to your skin. So we find other regimes to cater to the current needs of the skin.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not like a crazy person, because
No.
that happens a lot. And then I'm like, oh, is it me who's just got stubborn skin? Okay, I love that. You said this happened by accident.
In a sense, yes.
How?
Because, I mean, in college, I didn't study anything to do with cosmetology or the likes. I'm actually a professional social worker, or a registered social worker. Never practiced.
Is this because of the beauty line?
Not
did
quite.
That take your time?
It's because Zimbabwe.
Oh,
it's
wow. Okay.
The country. I mean, well, I love my country, but then there are moments when certain industries are just not as booming as others.
Right.
And social care is just one of those industries, unfortunately.
Right. And yet there's such need for it.
Such
strong need
Our
for those
country
services.
has such need for social care.
Yeah.
So having been someone who had other experiences pre-college in terms of working, I got in touch with other people who were able to give me employment in the marketing industry and the likes whilst I was finding my footing. And eventually I came across those, you know how it is when you find someone who's doing something and you really love how they're doing it. Right. And there was this lady, she had a little shop of hers, very tiny, like I don't think she ever thought of expanding really. So I saw it and I loved the conversation that I was having with her. She was very receptive, very calm woman. You know, I would go there and end up buying stuff that I didn't even intend on buying.
This is what you're channeling right now.
I'm trying to channel that. I'm trying to.
I love it. It's working.
Thank you. And we got to talking, and she was like, look, if you want to run with something similar, do it, because you seem to care about this. I'm like, yeah, I do really care about this. So 2020, after losing my job, COVID time, I lost my job. I was stranded for cash.
Right.
I literally had $70 to my name.
Right.
At that time. And I started with like a very generic product, something that has been done for ages. Took that product, saw a supplier, had like the most basic pricing for it. Saw a supplier, already had the packaging, stamped my name on it.
Right.
That's how I started.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was shea butter, basically. It was like the basic most shea butter, and I had 10 shea butters.
Okay.
So I allowed myself to double that. So the doubling then allowed to buy this next range, the next, and the story went on. Yeah.
Wow. So, you know, like you're saying, you started off with the most basic of products. And from then you've developed it beyond that.
Yes.
As you go about it, have you been... Because you did mention that you also like to experiment a little bit with things. So have you been in that phase where you're like, okay, so how do I mix this? How do I mix that? And literally mixing everything on your own?
Yes, I am. I'm actually in that phase.
Right.
Yes, now that I have space to work, I'm in that phase where I'm like, no, but I can make this. So prior, my business arrangement is you've got your chemist. You communicate with your chemist as to my market needs A, B, C, and D. And you know our ladies love to brighten their skin, not lighten.
Yes,
brighten.
there's a difference.
There's a huge difference between the two. They love to brighten the skin. They like the glow. And you tell your chemist, hey, can you formulate something that, you know, can help the skin glow? Hence, you find my range has a bit of turmeric to it, has a bit of niacinamide to it, vitamin C to it. So yeah, because it caters to the current suburban market.
How much of your time goes into actually researching some of the ingredients that you
every
need to find,
day.
and then also sourcing?
Lord, every day. I don't even calculate the time anymore because it's one of those like on the go situations, and like I can't even calculate the time, to be honest with you. It's a day to day. This is my bread and butter at this point. So yeah.
What do you enjoy about what you do?
I enjoy the ability to be creative with it. There's so many ways to make it work. If a product is not working on the market, you don't discard the business, you change the product. So there's that constant research. There's that novelty of, okay, we're bringing in something new. What are people responding to? There's always a challenge, you know what I mean? So that's what I enjoy the most, because I don't like sitting back and getting bored by the same thing constantly. It's novelty for me.
Speaking of getting bored by the same thing constantly, you know, I've also realized that, look, if I am not well within emotionally, spiritually, physically, then no matter what I do with my skin, you know, the effects are also going to be minimum. And so you've come up with like a soothing complement to your, you know, your beauty care. So you've got the fragrance lines and the candles and all that. Was that another accident, or was it all?
So this was a desire. I've always loved scent. I've always loved perfume. I've always loved just, you know, concocting scent. And I tried there's been different variations of me trying to get into that business. But luckily I met someone who was doing it as a hobby and hadn't commercialized it in a sense.
Right.
And, you know, by God's grace, I guess, we found each other and were able to combine. They taught me how to make the candles. We started making candles together and we put our Ivai branding on it.
Wow.
Yeah, so candles and diffusers and the likes, for me it's about that zen, that feng shui, you know, that.
And you smell
balance.
very calming too. Like, I know you guys can't smell it, but you smell very calming. I love whatever profiles you've put together.
Yeah,
they absolutely, and you know what, we don't have time to go into all of this. Where do we find you very quickly if we want to, even if we just want to follow the journey, if we want to get involved, if we want to collaborate, if we want to buy, where do we find you?
All right. So I'm currently with 3 outlets. I'm with Diamond Pharmacy. With Meds 68 by Highland 68 Highland, not Highland Park, but 68 Highlands Ridgeway North, 68 Ridgeway North, yes. And then I'm also at 94 Harare Drive in Marlborough. So this is where the magic happens, basically, where the candles, where stuff, that's the home base. So if you want the experience of choosing your own scent, we take you through that. You choose your own scent, we curate a gift set for you, which you should get soon, I'm sure.
I know what I'm coming to do soon.
Exactly.
Love it. Thank you so much for sitting down with us this morning, Tanatswa. And you know what? This sounds like an exciting journey. Of course, she has mentioned where you can find her online. Where do we find your social media?
Ivai Cosmetics and Ivai Luxury Scents.